But the other thing is Aaron Judge. I mean, and you talked about the bats. Like the Dodger top bats are better than the Yankees top bats. I would take
easily
Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani over
in the playoffs.
Soto, Judge, and Stanton. In the playoffs for sure. I mean, maybe probably regular season too. But I just don't know if Judge has the makeup of. I mean, he's never really been a successful postseason hitter. It's really showing this run, and it's tough. Like that game they blew against Cleveland, he had such a clutch home run that ended up not mattering because Cleveland came back and walked it off late. But yeah, I mean, he's hitting like 158 in the postseason. It's not great.
Yeah.
And you expect more out of a guy who's going to be a 2-time MVP and the leader of your franchise and a veteran and a guy who you're paying
a lot of money,
top of the market. Yeah, a lot of money too.
Yeah.
So, as disappointing as he's been, you look at the bottom of the lineup, and that's what they got production out of yesterday. Anthony Volpe, shout out him, second-year player, grand slam. And then he started the rally in the bottom of the 8th, legging out a single into a double, stealing third, stealing a run at home plate. Didn't steal home plate, but it was a ground ball that could have been easily out for anybody else. Was managed to be home safe. Started the rally. They got the 3-run shot by Glaber the next at bat. So Volpe was absolutely huge. You want Austin Wells homered, so you got production from some of the young guys. But realistically, I mean, Volpe and Wells are guys in their first, second year. You can't expect a lot out of them. Verdugo has been, he's been a little bit better than I thought. But I mean, as a Red Sox fan can tell you, there's only so much you can expect out of him in the 9th spot. And I just feel like the Dodgers have hitters all over. I mean, they can hit Teoscar Hernandez, who won the home run derby, in the 7th and 8th hole. Sometimes, like it's abundant of riches that they have, and they're just a better team. They really are. So,
and guess what? He got signed in February, March,
the offseason.
So it was right there. It's crazy to me though that happens like that. So speaking of hype, that's not showing up, with Aaron Judge, right? I feel like with Aaron Judge, his confidence needs to be better, right? Is like, I don't know what it is. His wherewithal at the plate, his swing mechanics are off. He's late on pitches. He's foul tipping a lot more than hitting home runs. I think he's not being patient enough, and I feel like he's like in his head way too much when he's at the plate, because all he needs to do is make contact. He doesn't have to cream the ball to center every freaking time or to the left field porch, right? Like, he has to find a way to at least get something going with his bat and get on base, because that's what's most important to that franchise, especially when you have Juan Soto backing him up. And without having him on base, Juan Soto really is nothing, right? So you got to be able to handle that, or else Judge is going to lose confidence, self-esteem is going to go down, and you might see just like a what the heck type of moment. And you're seeing it in these games where it's just like, wow, Judge is this bad in the freaking playoffs. He can't find a way to get on base. He can't find a way to, hit one where everyone knows where he can hit it into the freaking stands. Like, it's crazy to me that he has this kind of just low confidence at the plate when he's been dominant can be in the regular season.
Yeah, well, pressure does two things. It makes diamonds or it bursts pipes. And
bursts pipes in New York.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So Ticket, we're going to go through the BDE Bell winner of the week for week 8. And my BDE winner, presented by Underdog, is Chargers wide receiver Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey, I had him very high on my list with rookies, wide receivers, especially coming into this year. When you think of Ladd McConkey, guess what? He is the only target that the Chargers can rely on consistently. I want to hear Quentin Johnston. I want to hear, Josh Palmer, Jordan Palmer, or whatever his freaking name is. Like, there's nobody on the Chargers wide receiving core that I have more faith than Ladd McConkey. 6 catches for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns, 29 fantasy points. He deserves this award. He's been doing a really good job this season. He just has to find a way to keep on getting open for Justin Herbert and making that offensive thrive due to the fact that he can move the ball down the field quickly, and his yards after catch are tremendous. that catch that he had on the sidelines, like to the ability to adjust and keep your feet in, like it was kind of like a thrown off ball, like it was a little bit off, but he adjusted, he made the catch, he stayed in bounds, and he found a way to get in the end zone. So, and that was twice he hit the end zone. So I think he's made an incredible adjustment on the fly this year, and he's making things happen.
Yeah, I was a week late on my underdog pick, I guess, with McConkey getting in the end zone and having a big game. But good to see him, obviously produce like that. So my BDE belt winner, presented by Underdog Fantasy, is James Cook. He had 17 carries, $111 on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns. Also caught all 3 of his targets for over 20 yards receiving. Overall, just James Cook continues to carry the load for the Buffalo Bills backfield. With all the attention that Josh Allen gets, and rightfully so, James Cook has been a huge part of making that offense go. And you saw it this past week, and their, obviously their win over the Titans. So, yeah, I'm going to go with James Cook.
I think what's important too to get is like Davis, his like complimentary set. Davis has been really good for them. Obviously, James Cook absolutely gets his flowers, but Davis has been a real good back that can come in and be a thumper, while James Cook, can run for a lot of yards, and like Davis can be like the third down back, right? Or find a way to at least start the drive off strong. Get yourself 6 or 7 yards, and then find a way to make things happen on second and third down with James Cook in the backfield. So I really like that pick. I think that Buffalo is continuing to get stronger and stronger, and they're playing Miami this week. So let's get into why your team sucks segment. We're going to discuss 3 different teams, a part of our portfolio this week that we feel like these teams just suck because of different reasons. And we'll volley back and forth. I know you have your 3. My 3 are the Dolphins, Jaguars, and Bengals. And then tickets 3 is Cowboys, Titans, and the Jets. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Dolphins. That game last week was the replica of what is wrong with them currently. Their coaching with Mike McDaniel, the clock management, horrible. Use of timeouts, horrible. The offensive play calls consistency, terrible. I mean, you have Devon Achane, who's running the ball at a tremendous clip. I think he was running around 6 or 7 rushing yards per carry. And
it might have even been more than that.
It might have been more than that for sure. But like in the fourth quarter or in the second half, he didn't have any barely any touches. So like I gotta understand, if I may point out with Mike McDaniel, I continue to think, right, that the Shanahan tree is great. It's West Coast offense, it's driven, but it comes with a little bit of savvy to it, right? Like swagger, I guess people could say. But is it all swagger? This is my worry. Is I think, he's repping like different clothes on the sidelines, nice kicks, like, they're showing off his watch, got the glasses on, doing the whole damn thing, right? Great for you. But I gotta see results. Like, I don't just, believe in like candy shopping. Sorry. Like you re-signed Tyreek, you signed Tyreek Hill to an extension. You signed Jalen Ramsey to an extension. You obviously go out and you get Jalen Phillips healthy. You go out and sign Waddle to an extension. You feel like you have a quarterback, that's special moving forward, regardless of his concussions. When he's healthy, he can be a top 10 quarterback in this league. The issue is there's a model of no discipline. This team finds a way to lose games in the worst moments. For example, last week against Arizona Cardinals, guess what? They were up 27-18 with little time left. I think it was like around 5-6 minutes. They found a way. Tua found a way to botch a snap on their own 5 to 10 yard line, which was also a field positioning error because of a penalty holding call, and it backed them up. And guess what? Now pressure's on you, Tua, to throw them out of the end zone, out of the 5 yard line, and find a way to make things happen. But guess what he did? He botched the snap. He hits the ball goes into the end zone for a safety. Guess what? That becomes now a what? 7-point game. So now you're facing a moment in time where you had a 9-point lead, and now you have to make up for that loss. And guess what? Your defense has been tremendously well thought of this year, passing defense. Well, guess what? This week, they botched one bad. Their defense has been horrific in fourth quarter situations this year, but they find a way to at least stop teams from scoring early on, but they give up a tremendous amount late in games. And late in the game, Marvin Harrison, the number one guy, you paid Jalen Ramsey all his money, overrated in my standpoint. You have now Marvin Harrison absolutely duking the crap out of Ramsey left and right. He had a tremendous catch in the end zone to get his feet in the end zone. They went for 2, and the rest was history. They found a way to win. They ran out the clock, and they found a way to win. And that was my issue. Use timeouts early on in that fourth quarter where you shouldn't have. There's just so much hype around this team. You're 2-6. Tua's coming back. Oh, you feel like you're all good. No. Now you find a way. Sorry, you're 2-5. Now you find a way when you could have been 3-4 going into Buffalo. Now you're 2-5, and you're about to be 2-6 because you're not winning against Buffalo because you have not proved it in Tua's era. So I just find it blasphemous that all the hype, all the glory in the offseason, all the spending, all the belief in Mike McDaniel has this team running at a high clip. BS. Full of BS. I got to see it. I don't believe in it. And I think they're going to head towards a top 10 pick because Tua's not going to be able to stay healthy. Their defense has a tremendous amount of holes. And I think Anthony Weaver is all but done in Miami as a defensive coordinator. But get off the pedestal, but it's just frustrating, and you'll get into your Jets momentarily. But I cannot stand what I see consistently: play calling, clock management, poor control. They have the top 3 most penalties against in all football this year. So I'm done with it. This team is not getting like 6 or 7 wins. They have a tough schedule coming up. So it's blasphemous.
I do have to ask, as a Dolphin fan, do you want Tua to play out the, like, say you lose to Buffalo and now you're 2-6 or you're 2-7. Do you want Tua to play out the year?
No. I think it'd be stupid for them to do that. And I also have an understanding of his contract. So he does have an option, I believe, the following year, not this coming year, but the following in 2026. So I'm riding that puppy out until that option hits.
Player option or team option?
It's a team option.
Okay.
And so I have to understand with Tua, with the Dolphins, I should say, is Tua really the answer? And right now, with past concussion history, we all know writing's on the wall. There is absolutely no way that this guy continues to be the Dolphins quarterback. And he shouldn't be. He
shouldn't be out there right now. Is what, like, you don't want him starting against Buffalo. You didn't want him out there against Arizona.
Yeah.
Or was the season still somewhat salvageable at that point? And
right. And he can get cut in 2027, not 2026. He can get cut in 2027. So you basically have, what?
2 years.
2 years left of Tua Tagovailoa.
After this season, 2.5 seasons, yeah.
And sorry, the window for your Super Bowl chances is slowly creeping because guess what? Tyreek Hill's not getting any younger. Calais Campbell's your defensive tackle. Glad he picked Miami when you lost out on Christian Wilkins. Your offensive line's in shambles. Teron Armstead's like 36 years old. It's just continuing to just bad management, and it starts off with Chris Greer too. If I may jump before you get into your pick, Chris Greer, sure. I have to understand why he didn't find insurance at the quarterback position when your quarterback had 3 concussions going into this year. How do you not get insurance quarterback like a Joe Flacco or Jameis Winston